Hi, my name is Brittany, and I'm a small church coordinator for Flint River Presbytery. I'm excited to bring you a tutorial on our website today. So let's just jump right to it. I'm going to share my screen here, and we're going to pop over to Flint River's website. That's flintriverpresbytery.org. We're at our homepage now, and you'll see this scrolling area which contains our address and images of the area. If you keep scrolling down, you'll see information on our mission, a link to PCUSA, and at the very bottom of the page, the contact information for our executive presbyter and for our ministry associate. And if you're like me and you forget the address over and over, it's right here at the bottom. This is our semi-new address, but it's there for quick reference. Now, one thing I love about Flint River Presbytery's page is that you'll notice as I click on these tabs at the top and in this teal bar here, that though the website page changes, the tabs at the top do not change. They stay the same no matter where on the website you go, which makes for easy navigation. Let's look at the Pastors tab. So the pages are similarly laid out. You've got on the left an introduction for pastors, some of the things that we believe. The bottom of the page always stays the same with our address and contact information. But I want to call your attention to these blue boxes. These are where all your resources are going to be. So to expand a category, you click on the green plus sign. The box will expand and show you all the downloads and resources that we have under that category. This is great because it contains forms for pastors. It contains a welcome packet. Let's click on that. It pulls it up, and this is available for you to download or print on your computer. Let's look at the CRE and CLP tab. There's your CRE annual report and some information and resources for CRE mentoring. Denominational toolkits is great for pastors. Look at the Vital Congregations Toolkit. Now, it doesn't take you to a download, but it takes you automatically to the PCUSA website that has information on what this is, what the Vital Congregations is, and there's your download right there. Now, and there are even resources on moderating a session. Looking at Moderator's Moment Leadership. It's a PowerPoint. When it downloads, you can click on it, pulls you right up. Okay. So that's how you get to some of the resources. Pretty easy to download and print or whatever you want to do. Let's look at the Clerks of Session tab. This is great for all of your clerks, especially new clerks. Similar to the Pastors tab, you have a welcome packet, database forms, ordination installation minutes. All the forms a clerk needs is located here. One of my favorite resources is the annual to-do checklist, which describes everything a clerk needs to do annually. I still use this. It's a great resource. And you'll see, you can just glance at the other forms that we have, even contracts. Guidelines is great. You've got leadership guidelines, such as congregations walking through difficult times, dissolution of a call, parliamentary procedures, which is great, social media guidelines, all kinds of resources. And I have a lot of folks ask me where the pulpit supply information is. Well, it's right here under Clerks of Session tab, and we are under the guidelines category. So there's all your pulpit supply stuff, expectations and ethics, and compensation. Another great resource is the policies tab. Flint River Presbytery is required to have an anti-harassment and anti-racism policy. We recently put these available on our website, and these are available for all of the churches in our presbytery. So if you are downloading or if you need an anti-harassment policy, you can go to Flint Rivers and download theirs and just take Flint Rivers' name off the top and put your church's name, and you can adopt that policy. That works for all of Flint Rivers policies, so you're not having to reinvent the wheel. You can take any of these policies, put your church name on them, and adopt them as your policy. Under additional resources, you're going to have information on what a clerk of session does and how you serve. And another useful resource is the sample session agendas that teaches you how to write an agenda. Also, Miss Becky Willis's Clerk's Corner PowerPoints. Every Clerk's Corner she's ever done is here, and it's available for you to save or download as you see fit. The Elders tab is another great set of resources here. This is where you're going to find our new We Are Flint River videos. Let's see if it'll take me to the page this time. It's been a little slow lately. There we go. So it takes you to our YouTube channel that has all of the Flint River videos that we have made so far, that you can use in your ruling elder training if you so choose. The 2023 to 25 new Book of Order is here under the Elders tab. It's a downloadable PDF that has a search feature. So this is great for you to save to your computer and have on hand as you need it. All kinds of resources for PNC committees. There's a theological overview. There's video training, how to work the system. There are even interview questions. A lot of PNC committee members ask me, what do I ask? I don't know what to ask. There's a sample interview right here under our Elders tab under PNC resources. That's a great tool to help you in those interviews. You've got your trained ruling elder documents. The application is loaded here under the Elders tab. There's the class calendar and the annual report and ruling elder training. You don't have to reinvent the wheel to train your elders. Use our resources. We have a training questionnaire, ruling elder handbook, one-day ruling elder training complete, detailed ruling elder training. It's all here and available for you to use. Moving on to the Treasurer's tab. Again, all of the treasurer's resources are right here in these blue boxes. You'll notice they don't have plus signs for expanding. So they are titled as is. You've got your checklist. It pulls it right up for you to print, download. Got your full financial review. Has rules and duties of the review committee. And the Treasurer's Toolkit PowerPoint, which is a very useful resource for new treasurers. It tells you all about what being a treasurer is. So there's your treasurers. Also, you have a link to Miss Tony Hatfield, FRP's bookkeeper. If you have specific questions, she is a great contact for our treasurers. When you click on her name on the website, it'll pull up her email and you can email her right away. There are some guidelines here on the main page for treasurers. Okay. Next tab is the educators page. Now, out of all of our pages, the educators page is, I would say, the most messy. And I will let you know that we're going to be working on updating this so that we can simplify our categories and get it a little more organized. But the educators page has tons of resources for educators for all ages. You've got PCUSA resources. If it's written in bold teal, that means that it's something that you click on like a download. See, this says page not found. So I bet you this website, the Presbyterian Giving Catalog, they probably rearranged things and the link no longer works. Sometimes that happens. But let's try this one. See, I think they must have taken these down, but that's okay. You've got Faith Practices Toolkit. That's going to take a minute because it's a big file. but it takes you right to the website that tells you what the Faith Practices Toolkit is, some videos on retreats and other activities they've done. This is a great resource for educators. You also have associations and groups that are in the Christian education field. The links take you right to these websites. Let's keep looking. You've got camps and conferences, information on Montreat. We even have resources that were created by our Flint River Presbytery people. There's a few of my resources on here. There are also resources from Miss Brianna White from St. Andrews, who provided us with some restoration therapy resources. You can click on those, it'll take you right to it. Just scrolling on down, there's more information on resources, all kinds of stuff. So I encourage you to just browse and explore our educators page. It has all kinds of great ideas and support systems for you. Now, the About Us page is pretty simple. It goes into some details about our staff, how you can get in touch with our staff. There's our small church coordinators. But yeah, if you want to kind of get to know our staff, just go to our About Us page. Let's look at the tabs here in this teal bar. Now, the committees tab is going to be one that you'll visit a lot. Just like the other tabs, you've got information over here to the left, and then you have your resources to the right. There's a list of all of our committees here. They're written in bold. That means when you click on them, it's going to take you to their page, the advisory board committee page. It gives you a list of their members. And another thing I love is that when you hover over their name, notice it turns to that teal color. If you click on their name, it pulls up their confirmation. It pulls up their contact information, and you can contact them. It's got your meeting dates. One thing that's very useful is this committee structure chart. Now, this is accessible from any committee's page where you can click on it and look at how our committees function, what our responsibilities are, sort of an overview of how our committees are laid out. You've got a link to your FRP manual, committee manual. Okay, let's press the back button and go back to our main committees page. There's the committee structure chart again. And let's just say I'm looking at the finance committee. Look, they have a committee structure chart link right there too. So no matter what committee you click on, you can get to the structure chart for quick reference. There's your meeting dates, your members, your staff, the documents that they see, and funding information. Let's go back to committees. Here's an agenda template. This is great for moderators. Oh goodness, it's not going to load, but it will take you. There's supposed to be stuff on this, but my computer's running a little slow, so we'll just imagine that it's there. But there's your committee agenda template. Church membership listing. Now, let's look at the Committee on Ministry. There's your committee structure chart again. Committee on Ministry manual, summary page, and working with a PNC. Meeting dates, members, staff. All of that stuff's available for you. The last one we'll look at is mission and evangelism. Committee on Mission and Evangelism oversees a couple of our grants and scholarships, the Walter Flint Fund and the technology grant. If you're looking for a grant application, you're going to go and look at the Committee on Mission and Evangelism to find that. So you've got your Walter Flint Fund grant application. Here are the folks that you can contact with questions. Here are some information on how to fill out these applications, the annual report, and your application forms. There it is. There's some seminars and slides that have to do with our grants. And there is also the Habitat for Humanity build that we're doing that's currently happening in Columbus. There's information on that. And you can volunteer right here from the page. So I encourage you to just explore each committee and see what it gives you a brief overview of what they oversee and what resources they can offer you. Let's look at our news and events tab. This is where our calendar is located. You'll always see on the left information about our Flint River Presbytery wide meetings. The handbooks and attachments are uploaded on this page. Some of our newer resources are listed here. You've got your perpetual prayer calendar, your planning calendar for pastors, and then there's the FRP calendar. Your Zoom meetings you can get to from here. You can scroll over to the next month and view it. There's May. Let's look at this Courageous Conversations Around Race. That's a Zoom meeting that takes place on May 29th. Here's the Zoom link and I can just copy and paste that in my web browser and it'll take me to the meeting. It takes all the guesswork out of getting to those Zoom meetings. Let's look at our congregations tab. This is one that I am on constantly. All right. Here you're going to have a map of the presbytery in its entirety. This is great resource. It shows you where sort of our cluster boundaries are, what churches are in each cluster. If you're looking to do events where you're networking with other churches, this is a great resource for you to kind of look and see where everyone is located. Okay. Any church that's hiring in Flint River Presbytery can list their employment opportunities here. So if you know someone that's looking to be a youth minister, we're hiring, send them to this page here. Okay. Now, our congregations are categorized by cluster. So let's say I want to look at the central cluster and I want to see what all churches are in the central cluster. They are here listed by alphabetical order. I want to know who the clerk of session is at First Albany. So let's click on that. It's got all the church's information, your PIN number for tax purposes, your address, website, worship service times, who the minister and moderator is, the clerk of session, treasurer, and some churches even have posted when their sessions meet. So this is great. If you're looking for information for one of our churches, you're going to find it here. Look at the southern cluster. Click on my home church, Trinity Valdosta. There's our address. There's our website. There's our worship services, who our interim pastor is, treasurer and clerk of session, me. Second Sunday of the month at 12:30. That's when we typically have our session meetings. So that is the congregations tab. Now the directory is password protected. So if you would like that password, please feel free to get in touch with me. I won't post it on here, but I will get that password to you. The last thing I want to talk about on our website is our search bar. So a lot of us are used to Google, and Google is extremely accurate. Our search bar on Flint River Presbytery is not extremely accurate. And that is because of the way that we have our page set up. Let me go into more detail. Let's say that I am looking for the Walter Flint grant application, but I have no idea where it is on this website. Well, I'm going to type in Walter Flint and I'm going to search for it. it doesn't pull it up. It's not going to take me to the specific Walter Flint downloadable application, but it does point me in the right direction, because right here at the top of the search results, you'll see our Committee on Mission and Evangelism. I'm going to click on that link. Now, remember earlier in our tutorial, we talked about this committee, the CME committee, oversees those applications for the Walter Flint Fund. So we scroll down, we go to the Walter Flint, we go to Forms and Expand. There's the Walter Flint Fund grant application. So our search bar, even though it's not going to take you specifically to the Walter Flint grant application, because it is in fact located on the Committee on Mission page, it's going to take you to the tab you need to be under, which is good. So let's say that I saw a resource on our educators page, and I can't remember what the resource was called, but I know it was put out by Illustrated Ministry. Let's search for it. Again, it's not going to take me specifically to the Illustrated Ministry download I saw, but it's going to take me to the area I need to be in, the Educators tab. And I scroll down here, and I'll be able to find my Illustrated Ministry resource. So just play around with that. Let's say I want the pulpit supply list. I don't know where it's at, so I'm just going to type it in the search bar. Well, it pulls up the Clerk of Session tab. So when I go to click on that Clerks of Session tab, remember how we discussed that it was located under Clerks of Session under Guidelines. So there's the pulpit supply list. So the search feature is very helpful. It's just going to take you to the tab that you need to be on rather than the specific link that you're looking for. And that just has to do with how our website is laid out. Okay? All right, I'm going to stop sharing here. That concludes our tutorial. I hope this was very useful for you. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. I am going to leave my contact information in the chat bar, or you can find it on the Flint River Presbytery website page under the About Us tab. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful week. It's good to be a member of Flint River Presbytery. Amen.